The views and opinions expressed in the following program are those of the hosts and guests, and not necessarily those of the staff or management of Worldwide Digital Broadcasting Corporation.
Well, my girl's got the sweetest pussy.
Welcome to SinCityBounty.com. Jasper says, not even a minute in and you're stripping live.
Woo! Where's the dollars?
This is what you get for not having us on notifications. So if you like this show, you better turn your notifications for our live video on.
Facebook.
Hells yeah.
So for those of you who don't know, we record this video twice. Once is through our Facebook live feed, which you can set the alerts so you can know when we're going live. Set an alarm on your phone for 10 minutes before. That way you can get your popcorn ready or your licorice ready to go. And then Johnny Fever from WWDBTV. .com records the video with the green screen in the back that fills with beautiful background stuff, and that
we need like Japanese cherry blossoms,
and that is posted to YouTube. So that we call that the fancy video, while our Facebook buds, you guys are like base. You guys are homies over there on Facebook.
Because I'm all about that base.
You guys, if we were vegan, would be our raw form of veganism.
That's right. You can subscribe to both, to our Facebook feed or to our YouTube feed, or go on our website and you can get it automatically downloaded to your email every time we post a new video. And if you're like some of our super fans who like to exercise to Fat Girls Talkin', you could subscribe to our podcast and just listen to us live. Because we don't have any pictures to show you, except for, on occasion, Toxi likes to strip.
It happens.
Sometimes, even though you've been doing the show for damn near 3 years, you show up in a green shirt anyway.
It's bluish.
Green.
You know what? Where is that shirt?
I flung it. I don't know. I was expecting dollars to come flying.
Let's give it a test. Hold that up in front of your face. And for this beginning segment of the video, I will bet you that the background... Oh, there we go. There we go. That's perfect.
Put your arms underneath it.
On the YouTube video, Toxi should be just a complete floating head right now.
Okay. Yeah, look, we're going to totally make her a floating head. Put your hair out here, too, so it's all pretty. Look, it's Toxi, the floating head, y'all. I think we should be floating through some lava and shit right now, so it's just a disembodied head in hell.
And what's going to happen, it's not going to do it because it's bluish green. Emphasis on blue.
One of these weeks, we'll all wear green. Or blue.
That would be great.
No, we got a green screen cloth right there. We just pin it behind our necks and we just sit here with a green screen cloth.
He has nipple clips we could use.
So do I.
Well, do you have them with you?
Maybe.
Maybe. So, like, if we had an audience behind us, look how much ass I've got going right now.
I could put up like a whole gold dollar down there. Just get some change.
Someone could rest on my ass shelf right now.
And you have plumber's butt on top of it.
Speaking of plumber's butt, I totally flashed my plumber's, not on purpose. He flashed himself with my plumber's butt crack. An honest to God TV videographer for a TV interview I did last week. He had to mic me, and I was wearing every piece of body modification device I had underneath my clothes, because I know that them news cameras put like 85 pounds on you. So I was like,
for this show, it's a benefit. I'm like, I look 10 pounds extra. That's all right. Enjoy.
So my mic disengaged itself, and he had to reach back there to fix it. And of course, I had sat down and had positioned myself and had no intention of moving. And thankfully, my shirt was long enough to cover the fact that everything below my waistline had dropped below my butt crack line. And plus, all the filming was this way. I was like, it'll be fine. And then he reaches back there, and I'm like, nope, totally saw my butt crack. And I made a joke about it, and the lady who was interviewing me damn near fell off her little bench. I said, well, at least you get to see my plumber's side. And he turned red. He must have been like 22. You got to meet Man-bun.
Yes.
Whoa, back up. Man-bun.
Super cute.
Where's Man-bun?
He's cameraman for one of the news outlets here in town.
Man-bun?
Total
Man-bun. And you know what? Cute Man-bun, too. Not like I'm a douchebag who does CrossFit Man-bun.
Not a douchebag Man-bun.
She took a selfie of herself with the man bun and the camera in the background, and I swear to God, like 40 women wanted to hit on the man, even though you couldn't see his face.
All you saw was his man bun in the
his
camera.
bun.
He's that cute.
I would dig a man-bun. I'd totally be into it.
I
This
love
keeps
man
popping.
buns.
He's closer in age to your daughter than you.
I love man buns. So I don't know if you want to call
Probably
it a
less than 10
fetish.
years.
I don't know if you want to call it just something. I love afros.
Me too.
All natural, huge 1970s. I love them. And I just saw the cover of GQ.
Colin
With Colin
Kaepernick.
Kaepernick being the
yeah.
Citizen of the Year.
Can I risk being a little bit offensive
No.
by saying I love Colin Kaepernick, but I just don't think he looks black. I mean, he's got the hair going on, but he looks Mediterranean.
He's
to
very
me.
light-skinned. You're right.
But
And
even
it's-
his features look pretty Mediterranean, more Middle Eastern.
You're getting a
than
little
African.
stereotypical now.
I know. I know. I'm not trying to be offensive. I'm just saying, like,
You're getting the dead stare right
I
now.
know I am. But it's like everybody's like down with this black man, and I'm like, I don't even think you guys have seen him. Like, if you walked past him in the street, I don't think most people would even assume he was black. Oh well, then, I guess.
I actually, as she was saying it, I thought so as well.
Yeah, I believe he's mixed. But I don't know. That
fro's amazing. Though.
I completely
Holy balls.
swooned when I saw that GQ cover. I was like,
Fuck
And listen,
yeah.
people, just really quick. I'm on a high horse tonight, just so y'all know. And I'm not even good at riding a horse, but it is happening. I know a lot of the feedback when it came out that he was Citizen of the Year, a lot of the feedback came out like, this person donated this much to, here, and this person did this, and everyone's so much more deserving because all they think of him for is the Take a Knee movement. But he's actually so much more. I would definitely Google him, and I don't have all of his accomplishments listed, but he does a lot of different charities, including for underprivileged children.
Make-A-Wish.
So many different things, donating. He donated the money from the sale of his jerseys, to another group, and just dedicated, so much of his pay to different charities. So he's really one of those individuals who put his, money where his mouth is.
Yep.
So
Look past what you see on Fox News, ladies and gentlemen, and do a little Google search. And
or just swoon.
or
or
just
just
swoon.
swoon.
Just be shallow and like him for his looks.
That's right.
Or all that he has accomplished.
Yes. Well, usually, so we know this. Visual surface attraction makes you want to dig a little deeper. So swoon a little first and dig a little deeper and find out how actually cool he is.
I'll dig a little deeper. Let's see if I can get my dusting on. For those of you who are fans. Fuck, I love Stranger Things too. Finished it. It's amazing. Not gonna fucking.
Do not.
I'm not gonna
still
spoil.
on season 1.
I'm not gonna spoil anything about 11 dying. Maybe she doesn't die. Who knows? Toxi. That there's this really great movie. It's got this British actress and this kid from America. They're on this big boat, but the boat it sinks at the end, and there was totally room on that board.
Titanic.
Yeah,
There
that
was
one.
so much room on that board. There is no reason Jack did not climb on there next to Rose.
My favorite scene is her. I'll never let go. Okay, my favorite scene in that is I'll never let go, Jack, and then she pushes him off the board. I'll never let go. You could have taken his frozen corpse back to the mainland, you fucking twat.
Or you could have just given him an inch, like a little bit of room.
Oops.
Just a little bit of room. And giving him an inch isn't a sexual reference, but there are also ways to warm up when you're really cold. So there's plenty that could have happened there. That ending was completely unnecessary.
So
I mean, I guess it's true, but...
That's what made the movie work, though.
So here's,
Oh.
I'm going to do a little thing here from one of my favorite bar nerds, whom I told last week I'm on the air from 8 to 9 usually. I'm going to tell him to go tune in to our live broadcast.
Didn't you find it?
So,
I have to switch accounts.
So let's talk more about Jack and Rose on Titanic.
No, I want to talk about this bar nerds that she's mentioning because she's made new friends and I'm supposed to be the BFF, but she hangs out with them.
you are the
every fucking
BFF.
week.
You and me, way too busy to take a day off to spend a day with each other.
I know.
Shit, son.
But-
our time when we have off at the same time to commingle is Thursdays, and we're both fucking busy on Thursdays doing something together that's not. I mean, shit, it's fun, and there's usually alcohol. But anyway,
This is what I know. I love her to death.
To death.
And any time that we can spend together, I cherish it. I milk it. I'm usually at her house until midnight sometimes because I just don't want to leave.
fuck yeah.
And I know we're besties, and I know she loves me just as much, but I get a little jealous when I see her Facebook friending with other people, or hanging out somewhere else, or taking a selfie with another. I get a little jealous when the two of you are in a selfie alone. Just saying.
Hey, I get the same way, yo. But my bar nerds are my escape from the rest of the shit that happens in my life. And I got to hang out with them outside of the bar this weekend. Ladies and gentlemen, I did some gaming on Saturday.
Dungeons and Dragons? Dungeons and Dragons? Dungeons and
That
Dragons?
kind of gaming?
Yeah, that kind of gaming. Kind of.
Oh my god! Does it get, like, I thought you were exaggerating a little with the whole nerdy thing, but so when you said gaming, I'm thinking, oh, she played some slots, maybe a little poker, maybe some
really miss Dungeons
blackjack.
and Dragons.
Wait a minute. I'm gonna blow your fucking mind here. It wasn't regular Dungeons and Dragons. It was a different branch of this kind. We only used D10s, occasionally a D8. But it was amazeballs fun.
D20?
No D20.
Fighting dice?
No D20. But the character that was made for me to play had so much firepower that I was just grievous injury over and over and over again. We slaughtered one of the main boss fights way faster than the GM expected us to, and he was like scrambling to make shit harder.
This is
for
what
us.
you were jealous of?
GM means Game Master.
Game Master.
This is what you were jealous of?
I miss gaming.
Well,
And I never actually played actual D&D
Listen.
either. It was Mike, the love of my life,
Santa Mike.
Mike's bastardized version of D&D, and then we moved into Palladium.
So much nerdiness.
dude, there was straight up voice acting. There was hand gestures. I mean, we were like, there was beer and ribs, and it was amazeballs.
That's Johnny Fever.
Dang,
Get your
boy.
Jew fro on, brother. Although I don't think he's a Jew. So much gaming nerdiness. At first, I'm like super nervous. It's like a first
Did
date.
you do this at the bar?
No. We were at one of the bar nerds' houses,
Okay.
and he made ribs. And
Did
there
you do
was
it?
lots
Okay,
of
so it
beer
wasn't like
and-
a public
and
park.
gaming?
and beer. Yes.
No
What?
Doritos, no. So we were huge
No.
Doritos with bean dip.
No, it was sun chips and kettle cooked
Okay.
chips. We were classy nerds. Thank you very much. Yes.
Guys, I FaceTime my cat.
So,
I got nothing here. I got
anyway,
nothing.
what brought that on is because one of my bar nerds, whom I told last week that I was on the air from 8 to 9, totally messaged me at 8:15, and I told him to go to our Facebook page. So hopefully he made it live and was able to see our conversations. And I loved having your meat in my mouth.
Whoa!
That was just for you, baby.
Alrighty then.
I'll, the fuck out with you.
Them ribs was bomb too. I'm just saying, that was damn.
I
good
will
meat.
bring Burger King.
I will bring burger.
I got nothing on this. I got nothing. This is all I have to offer you.
I'd probably leave you sitting at Burger King all alone and be joining her. So there you go.
I can listen.
you
I can
generally
hook you up
have-
with Burger King, Connect 4, and Uno. I mean, does it get any better?
These gamers are actually not that far from you, where they meet regularly. Way the fuck up on the north side of town. up near you.
You'd probably find him very cute.
You would totally.
I'm
One of
sure.
them is like, I think he's old enough to drink. He was drinking, but he's like 6'4", easy. You know what Frank Muir looked like before he got his face all fucked up? No?
I
None
don't
of
even
you?
know who that
Frank
is.
Muir is.
Jesus Christ. Anyway, he's hot,
Is
but
he
I
a
can't hit
dungeon
on
or a
him.
dragon?
Who's Frank Muir?
Frank Muir is a UFC fighter.
Oh.
A heavyweight
That's
champion.
why I don't know who it is.
He's hot as fuck. Do you guys watch the Try Guys at all on Facebook?
Yes.
You know the one that just got married?
No, I don't know him that well.
Okay.
Like,
Jesus.
I don't hang out with the Try Guys.
Who are the Try? I've never even heard of the Try Guys.
They try
I'm
different
out
things.
nerding my
Oh,
friends
oh,
here,
okay,
you guys.
okay.
They've tried. I mean, they'll try
I
anything
just
and
figured it was
everything.
3 guys. Try Guys.
It is. It's 3
No,
guys,
it's
but they
3
actually
guys,
try
they try
things.
things?
Well, maybe 4.
It's 4 guys.
Okay.
Because they got the one who's like super happy married. He's like that happily married dude that you're almost
with a
like.
name like Try Guys, they would be 3 guys.
No, it's TRY. They try things. It's that.
They
try.
could have the double entendre thing.
They
going.
could have, but it's 4 of them and they're beautiful and I love
Don't
them.
get some dude fired.
Anyway.
like, it could be so much better if there were just 3 of you.
All my nerds are hot. All of them.
I'm sorry. Which one do they look like?
They,
better
well,
when
they're
it's
all
just-
hot. You know,
Do they look like
2
the
of
Try
them.
Guys, or what was the reference?
No, yeah, one of them looks. He has facial features that very much resemble one of the Try Guys.
Is it the glasses guy?
The
Is it
really
the
tall
Asian
glasses
guy?
guy
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
goofy?
yeah. Okay.
Kind of like that, but younger and a little bit hotter.
He's over. He's 18.
I think so.
Yo.
He bought beer, so
Don't-
he has to be
don't-
at least 21.
Don't Roy Moore her now.
Oh, no.
Yeah. Don't be Roy Moore in it.
Listen, when I drive by the high school, I purposely don't look at anyone because, as Toxi can attest, those motherfucking high school boys do not look like they belong in fucking high school.
If a dude is 28 and he looks like he's 18, I don't even.
I tend to from younger guys. I mean, just the same, mainly because I have a teenage daughter. And for the exact reason you said, I don't want anyone to question, like, is he with her or is he with her daughter? But I was at one of her soccer games, and it was at
A high school?
one of the high schools here. And so there were these 2 dudes who came up, and they were standing there, and I'm like, these have to be coaches.
They were students.
And I'm like, yeah, like, these guys have to be. And then I look a little more, and they're wearing the badge that you have to wear around the school. And I'm like, how the fuck are they the same grouping as my child? Like, I was going to ask them to buy me beer. I couldn't believe it. I
oh
mean,
my God.
it was insane. So yeah, you always have to check. And even when they're young and like on, you know, when you're in your 40s, it is so much easier to get a guy in your 20s than it was when
You
I
were
was
in your 20, yeah. Because
Like,
they, you know why? They love older chicks. They
Yeah,
love
they
them.
do.
The way I
So-
like older guys. I would say it's a little creepy, but then I call myself creepy. But we all know I am creepy, so.
but I'm always like, you know,
You're
no,
not that.
thank
You're not
you.
that kind of creepy.
I
Well,
normally.
I take that back because I remember when you sent me that naked photo of Daniel Radcliffe. And,
Woo!
and I screamed, "Why the fuck are you sending me nudes of Harry Potter?"
That boy is sexy as fuck, yo. He's my age. So.
I know that he was over
think.
the age of 20 at
He-
the time.
yeah, he
It
was like
my
21
Some
at the
plays
time.
a teen character.
But yeah,
Yeah,
he's
yeah.
a fucking kid, and she sends me this nude photo of.
No, he was a grown man.
Did you see Swiss Army Man?
I have not, but I really want to see it because it looks twisted as fuck.
Is that a Daniel Radcliffe vehicle?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's
it looks twisted as
fucking
fuck.
awesome.
Yeah.
it is so out there. It
The
is
last
just so
one he did
out
when we
there.
had the horns.
Where he got horns.
No,
it was
no,
called
that was
horns.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I find Harry Styles attractive. He's like
He's a kid,
21.
too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's like 21.
I won't date anyone under 40. I won't even talk to anyone under 40.
You talk to
Good
me.
I'm not taking any fucking chances.
Good job.
Good job.
I don't talk to anyone under 40 either. So.
Except you are.
No, she's dating a man who is much older than her.
No, I know, but she's under 40.
I'm under
so-
40.
Well, yeah.
I mean, she talks to herself.
I do.
What she's saying is she don't like him young.
I don't.
She likes them.
I mean, they hot, but they stupid. And they're such douchebags because they haven't learned how to not be douchebags.
Not everyone. Not all.
I refused, even when I was actively dating, to date guys my own age. I dated a couple of guys who were like 2 or 3 years older than me, and I was like, wow, you guys are still in that douchebag range. Like, I can't do it. My generation perfected being a womanizing douchebag. I'm 100% positive that
I know. I think it's
Gen
started
X
well
and the
before
Xennials.
your time because, as we're finding out, a lot of people who are older than your generation
This is
have
true.
been doing some shitty ass things.
Hugh Hefner died, and the protective bubble covering all rich white dudes is totally left the planet.
Rich, white, creepy dudes.
Which right, just yeah. We have a list. We're in a women's group, a super secret women's group that we're not going to tell you anything about, except that they started a list of who do you hope does not turn out to be a fucking creepazoid, and like pretty much the list is like Jeff Goldblum, Tom Hanks, Kevin Smith, and like 2 or 3 other people, and like everyone else is like fuck the rest of them, and a lot of them was like, well, I was hoping Kevin Spacey, but that got fucked.
Wow.
I was hoping Louis C.K. That got fucked
I was
too.
blown away by Kevin Spacey. I really don't care about
I'm hoping
Louis
some of
CK.
I'm a positive some of my other comedians are going to end up coming out of the closet as fucking douchebags. There's douchebags in their comedy, but I hope that
There are allegations against George Takei.
I know,
Yeah.
and that makes my little nerd queer heart sad.
And your guy.
Neil deGrasse Tyson, but that's been around forever,
Yeah.
and no one has ever been able to substantiate the facts of that
The article
case.
that you sent me was a blog post. It wasn't like from HuffPo or
CNN
The Post
or anywhere.
Right.
any of those guys. And at the top, there's a disclaimer that says, "I don't know if any of this is true, but these are the
But it
allegations."
was speculation. Yeah,
It
yeah.
was right.
Yeah.
Allegations that I guess the woman had aired a while ago, but nobody paid attention then. And it was just one woman. There's no one to corroborate it. No other instances of it where Neil deGrasse Tyson may have slipped a date rape drug into her drink or whatever it is. So
Yeah, it's not like he hung out at the mall or anything like
right. I'm holding out hope, but even him right now, I haven't listened to Star Talk in a few weeks now. So
Look, we're all pigs. We know that.
Oh, ladies are just as bad, just so you know.
Yes, I do know.
It's just that men can't come out. Women already have a hard enough time coming out. A man coming out as having been sexually molested by a woman is even harder, because then it's like, man up, dude. Like, you liked it. She was hot. Whatever. It's bullshit. Ladies can be just as fucking dumb, stupid, creepy predators as dudes can be. Trust me, I know.
there's also, and we'll take you for an example, since when you were young, you would not date younger men, so you went after older men, right? So either you give them the avenue, you open up the road for them to be the creepoid, or...
Whoa, but age and sexual assault are two different things.
It is. It absolutely
Two
is.
totally different things.
But it's totally
But you can't tell me that if she's 16 and she goes after a 23-year-old that he's not going to be charged with statutory rape, even
He
though it
is.
was completely consenting.
He
Yeah.
is.
Yeah.
Because they determine that as a child, unless it's of the age of consent, they can't actually consent. So as a child, you can say, I want to, but you can't legally consent to anything.
It is literally like a 13-year-old saying, I want to eat ice cream every night for dinner. Sorry, fucker, not gonna happen. You can't make that decision for yourself. You're not old enough.
And the 13-year-old can't say, I don't want to go to school, and then it's just okay for them to not go. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're not of mind legally yet to make those decisions. Therefore, it's regardless of whether they initiate it or not.
No, but I'm
just
still
can't.
talking about the creepazoid factor, or...
Yeah, so when I was 17, I was dating a guy that I thought was 23. And my parents were kind of okay with it because, let's face it, they don't give a shit. And but found out after I stopped dating him that he was actually in his 30s. So, and that skeeved me out. It was one thing to be close enough in my age range that we may have ended up in school together at some point or whatever.
Right, when he was in high school, you totally would have been finishing elementary school.
No, I would have been finishing
6 years younger if he was in high school, if he was a senior.
Anyway, so it wouldn't have been as creepy. But when I found out later that he was twice my age, that was a little creepy. Now, I have dated guys way older than me, continue to date guys way older than me. It is my preference. There's no way they would have ever dated me if I was in my teens, because they would have been probably still in middle ages. Like, they still would have been late 20s, early 30s, early 40s in some cases.
So my mom has a much younger boyfriend.
Cougar.
He is younger than I am.
Yeah.
By a year, I believe. I think he's a year younger than me.
My stepdad's younger than my mom. He's closer in my age than he is to her age.
But he was in his mid-20s when they started dating. So that's not as creepy.
No.
As if 6 years earlier, if she would have been dating him and he was still in his teens. That would have been kind of creepy.
Yeah, those 5 or 6 years make a huge difference. Not just in the mental capacity of the younger person, but also in the maturity of the older person. You have to have a certain maturity level to be able to handle dating someone an entire generation younger than you are. It takes a special kind of person to do that, because you are you have two different frames of reference for life. And to be able to do that successfully takes a lot of trust me, it takes a lot of work.
But it's fun.
It can be. I ain't got to train a motherfucker. Sometimes I got to be like, little to the left, but I don't got to tell him, no, it goes inside. Inside. I do like my girls a little bit younger than me, though. That's hot.
My ex-wife, was 16 when we got married.
You cradle robber.
How old were you?
20.
Well, I ain't going to call you Roy Moore or nothing, but...
There's
But wait. We were married for 38 years.
Oh, well, see, that makes it okay then.
Yes,
Well,
I know.
and plus, you were 20.
Yes.
This was 20 years ago? 30 years ago?
This was
50 years ago.
All right, so we're, the whole thing with the age
Yes, I am.
difference
Yes,
is
I
one
am.
thing, but a lot of what
I
we're
know.
seeing right now is men
How
who
do you think I feel?
is men who are in a position of power.
Right. That's a whole.
That's a whole different ballgame that we're talking about. So, for example, if we're going back to
That's
Roy
why nobody's
Moore,
ever going to accuse me. I've never had any fucking power. So.
Roy Moore, he makes us go under the table in order to broadcast our show. And we do it happily. I don't know.
Hell, you just stripped in the studio for it.
I did. I didn't get any dollars.
I'm going to do an impersonation of Toxi at the end of the show after we pay. That's Toxi.
Studio time ain't cheap. What can I say?
We are joking. WWDBTV.com
Totally joking.
does not do that.
Unlike other people in the industry.
Got your numbers. We know who you be.
So, the whole thing with Roy Moore, he was, and we'll go with allegedly if that works for y'all.
He's a fucking pedophile.
These were teenagers, and he was a district attorney.
He was a 32-year-old
He was a
district
attorney. He was a man in power.
So he cannot claim he didn't know any better.
Wait.
I didn't know what the law was.
The guy says, I never dated a woman without her mother's permission.
Yes.
Are you
Listen,
fucking
Who the
kidding
mamas?
me?
Who the mamas hoeing out their babies to the DA?
Listen.
Because you about to hit my shit list.
So
Oh, crack wars.
here's what set me off today. I sent these guys a message saying, like, my button has been hit. My hot button has been hit. The whole scenario, and if you're not aware of it yet, if you're under a rock somewhere and we are your only source of news, I'm sorry. Hope you enjoyed the bra.
Oh, if you need another one. Oh, not that side. It's a little ripped up. So is that one. Never mind.
There
Not
you
wearing
go.
a good bra today.
So, So, in case we're your only source of news, number one.
Sorry. Fucking.
Are you trying to tell the story of Roy Moore?
Sort of. I'm trying to tell the story of what's going on right now, what
Okay.
the culture is right now, and a nipple slip happened, and I couldn't help being distracted. People have started to come forward regarding allegations, and we talked about it before with the Hollywood.
Okay. All right.
People in power. That's where we're going. People in power. Weinstein. We mentioned Spacey. There's a ton more. Like every day, you're like,
And
how
it's
is
not
the
just famous
list?
people. It's not just politicians. Guys from companies have been kicked out of those businesses.
Was it Amazon or what? One of these.
There's a few of them.
Yeah, there's
a few of them.
companies. I mean, the guy from Fox.
The guy from Uber.
Yeah, that's it. That's the one I'm thinking of. Sorry, Amazon dude. It's the Uber guy. So this is going
But not
on.
the Lyft chick.
And there's a, we've heard about politicians for years and years and all of this, and there's nothing brand new except that I feel a lot of people are being empowered to speak their truth, because when you're amongst a group of others who have experienced something similar, sometimes it's easier to talk about. So now we have Roy Moore,
who is running for senator of Alabama.
Sorry about that. I keep popping your
senator
button.
of Alabama. The
Seat
election
vacated.
is, 28 days?
Yes,
Yeah,
it's the
it's
seat vacated by Sessions.
Not even going to keep his job either. So Roy Moore can't be pulled off the ballot right now. It's too late to pull him off the ballot.
But share why. Share what's going on.
He's running for office, and there's a deadline to pull people off the ballot. That's why
Okay.
he can't
Right,
be
his
pulled
name
off.
will still appear on the ballot, even if he is no longer, even if he's taken
If he drops
off,
out, even if he drops out, or,
or
yeah,
if he's
whatever.
taken out or whatever,
Right.
his name will still be on the ballot, no matter what.
And any
he can
replacement-
still be voted in.
And any replacement
sorry.
that the party decides to put in his place will have to be a write-in at this point, because the ballots, the deadline to be put on a ballot has been cut off. There's no way to add another name or take a name off the ballot. Which,
So-
hey, whatevs, I'm all
Just-
down for. But
just so you know, there are a lot of people that are saying that he's going to be elected, even with this controversy.
well, if he
But-
is, then I know where I'm never moving to.
But Roy Moore is not free from past controversy. This is a
Right.
guy who brought the 10 Commandments into his office and got kicked out of his seat because he wouldn't remove them.
There's a
Twice,
separation.
if I'm not
Yeah.
mistaken.
Yes.
There's a clear
So-
and defined rule in the Constitution of the United States that tells us you can't do that shit, motherfucker.
So here's what's going on now. The Post is interviewing people and just getting some information on him because they've heard talk about him.
Aren't there like 5 women now?
But the thing is, the women, I'd like to clarify, the women didn't come out against him. This reporter started interviewing people and came upon a lot more who said we're aware that he used to, have a thing for teenagers, but found 4 who were open to talking and explain what happened when they were teenagers.
And they did not know each other.
They did not know
and they
each other.
did not know
and
about the existence of each other.
And some are Republicans. So it's not even everybody wants to shout party thing. Some are actually Republicans. A 5th just came out. She had come out with Gloria Allred. She had people who collaborated her story that they told her. She told them years ago. She showed her yearbook where, he wrote in it. She was a waitress in a restaurant, and he gave her a ride home and tried to force her.
You can actually see the video of her testifying
Right.
to what happened to her. And she's sobbing, she's crying as she's telling her story about how he, was her and tried to force her head down to his crotch, and then finally said, "You're a kid, but I'm the DA."
And that's
say
it.
anything.
Yeah, nobody's going to believe it.
And then she either fell out of the car or he pushed her out of the car. One of the two. Because
Right.
he finally did stop.
Doesn't
Right.
really matter which happened.
So as everything's coming out, at one point this man had the nerve, and I hate that this is the latest catchphrase for not wanting to take responsibility for something or wanting to deter from something, but at one point he actually used the phrase that this is fake news.
Yes, he did.
And I find
It's
it
like
appalling that
the
that's
rallying
the catch-all.
cry.
Yeah, that's the catch-all now of everything that something is fake news.
All I can see is a bunch of middle-aged white dudes with their shirts off running into a battlefield yelling, "Fake news!" while
Right,
they wave around their
right.
newspapers. Like,
Right.
oh, I'm so tired of that shit.
So here's what set me off. A couple people were talking about it and, kind of came up that it's outrageous that 40 years later they came out. Now everybody's coming out of the woodworks and all of this is bullshit. Why didn't they talk about it back then? If this really was an issue, there should be a statute of limitations for when they can come out and accuse people. And, this poor guy, we are taking his word. This poor Alabamian, we're taking everyone's word that he did these things. But they have zero hesitation on the whole Hollywood scene. Like, yeah, Fry Weinstein,
Of course those fucking liberals did it, but not our good staunch Republican.
Not our great Republican who, because he's conservative and has family values.
Here's my opinion. Leave him on the ballot. Everyone that votes for the motherfucker ought to be rounded up and locked up.
Deport them. Put them on the other side of the wall.
Stand at the polls. Did you vote for him? Yeah. Come on.
I
Get in the van.
believe,
Lock them up.
I believe even Jeff Sessions has said, I think he should drop out.
Yeah. Wait. Even Mitch McConnell.
Well, he has as well, Ryan.
There are a lot of senators that are saying that if he does happen to get elected, they will. Senators can be purged by the Senate.
Yeah.
It hasn't happened since the end of the Civil War when all the Confederates were kicked out of the Senate, but they can not accept a senator.
Has anyone else noticed how many times our current government has acted like the government that did just before the Civil War happened? Has anyone else noticed this?
Or 1939.
I mean, for sweet Jesus Christ, people, we're supposed to be a forward-thinking country. We are literally the only industrialized nation now who is not on board for trying to affect climate change. Like, we literally look like all of those caricatures that they're drawing of us in the political cartoons in Europe. That is literally what we look like, you fucking turds.
I believe I just watched a video where Stephen Hawking says we're past the point of no return now. So I'm pretty sure the Republicans will say, well, we're fucked anyway, so we might as well drill for oil. And
I'm about to jump on the Motherland Please Take Us Back bandwagon. Like, I'm about to start singing All Hail the fucking Queen, y'all. I can't do this no more. I'd rather be run by a parliament and a monarchy than the bullshit we have going on right now.
I don't know what you're considering bullshit, because here, listen to this.
Oh, Lord. I'm
Our
about to be
president just came out and said, the whole Russia Putin thing, he believes him.
he believes that Putin believes they did not meddle in the election.
But he said believe when he came out to discuss this. He said Putin has told me every time I've seen this man, he has said he didn't do it, and I believe it. And
so
he used in one brief speech, he used believe like, I don't know,
Yes, I
302
saw that.
times. I don't know what it was. I
So,
couldn't even
but
follow.
think about
I want to
this.
hear I want to know which story is true. Did the Russians collude with Hillary Clinton to fuck with the election, or did the Russians have nothing to do with it? Because that fucking bastard has said both.
Yeah.
So which is it, motherfucker?
Think about this.
That I didn't vote for.
Seriously, think about this, especially as people that are older and have been around and seen what's going on, both on this side and the other side of the Iron Curtain. What's going on in this country is exactly what the Russians would love to see happening. We are destroying our own fucking government. We are dismantling all of our safeguards. I mean, DeVos and the fucking just look at the fucking guy that he wants to put in charge of Health and Human Services. I mean, he's a fucking CEO of a huge pharmaceutical company.
Well, who didn't know better about your health?
Yeah,
than
right.
Big Pharma.
Oh, yeah.
What are you talking about?
So if you don't believe that Trump has colluded with Putin, then God help you.
I'm just saying, y'all, like, I really am okay with going back to living under British rule.
I got friends,
and I'm a fucking Irishman.
I got friends and family in the UK that almost on a weekly basis, John, you got a place to stay here if you want.
My step-grandmother-in-law lives out there.
Seriously.
I'm considering going to take care of her ass. I'm like, I'm going to UK to take care of my step-grandmother-in-law that I met twice.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to figure out what I can offer the Canadian government so they'll let me be a citizen.
Thailand will take you back. It's a better place to be right now.
True. Thailand will take me back, and I could buy property there.
You could be you can expatriate back. I can expatriate back to Ireland if I fucking wanted to, but they're in a worse situation than we are economically right now. So,
and I'm stuck with going back to New York.
No, but I can trace back to within 4 generations of family immigrating from there.
So let's get back to the commentary on this Roy Moore issue.
He's a pedophile.
I'm
going to buy a second Keurig.
Right. I was actually going to post today, if you are a right-wing person who supports Moore and wants to get rid of your Keurig,
let me know.
Please message me.
Yeah.
Take it off your hands.
I saw the one that said, you're protesting a company because they're against a pedophile.
Yeah, that was my favorite.
What?
Oh, so I get paid tomorrow. I'm gonna get another Keurig. I already have one. I don't mind having 2, and I'm buying a bottle of Jim Beam. Go Miley Kunis. Like, I support Jim Beam. # don't boycott Jim Beam.
So a lot of the commentary on this I just find it disgusting. It really is disheartening to women and men who have been assaulted.
There are a lot of people that have a problem with the fact that it was 38 years ago.
Right.
And that she's coming out now a month before the election.
Right.
And some of the commentary that I saw was she was fake crying, which I don't care if she was fake crying or not. I don't doubt that it happened. I don't doubt it at all. I will almost always take the victim's words to heart first because I have been a victim. You? Have you?
Yes.
Have you?
If I have, it's not something
No, you have.
Talk about on the show.
No, I'm gonna tell you have because
I
I
understand,
witnessed
but
it.
it's not something I wish to talk about on the show.
Okay,
because
but
I've chosen not to.
Please, let me finish this. What about 20 years from now? What about 30 years from now?
Right.
Would that be a different story? And that's my point. These women do not want to talk about it and put in a situation when it's happening, or last year, or a couple of years ago.
It's hard to talk about it.
No shit.
It is.
It's not easy.
It is a milder form of PTSD.
I'll tell you, I have been a victim, and I'll only say that part of it. I've told Sierra here almost all of it, and I don't know if I've told you, but I'm not going to say it publicly. I'm not going to expose anything publicly because that's personal to me.
Right. And so another narrative that I saw in regards to this as well is that, well, if I was assaulted, I would immediately scream it from the hilltops that this is what this person did, that this person raped me or they assaulted me.
Okay.
And that's amazing for those who can do that.
Right.
But not everybody is in the same place, has the same support system, is maybe as strong as the person who can come right out and say, here's what happened.
This happened to me when I was very young, and I was in no place. I didn't have any of that. I'm hoping that all of the women that are coming out now, all of them, and the men who are coming forward now, empower those that it's happening to right now.
Yeah.
To say.
Have the courage to say it, so it isn't 40 years from now.
It happened to me when I was little too. I was preteen actually, and the only reason that it stopped is because I was telling a friend and my mom overheard. That's the only reason it stopped. My friend didn't believe me. I'll tell you that to this day, that person that I told did not believe me, even though I went through counseling, we went to court, it was in the newspapers, like the whole fucking thing. To this day, when people find out, they just don't believe me. They think it was all for show. And I'm like, he admitted to it. He went to prison for it. Like, yeah. It fucking boggles my mind that he's still allowed to be around little kids too. So it's kind of fucked up. But hey, he's found Jesus.
The culture back then is different than it is now. So, but then it's not so different. There are places in this country where a woman still can't say anything. Some of these allegations that happened in Hollywood just happened. I mean, it wasn't just but a few years ago.
Mm-hmm. Right.
You know?
Some are recent enough that they can still, there's charges being pressed right now against Harvey Weinstein. And
unless you've been a victim, you cannot have an opinion on why a woman doesn't say anything right now. And even if you were a victim and you complain about whether I say anything or she says anything or anyone else says anything, you still have no right to that because you don't know what kind of life they live, what goes on in their head, what obstacles they have in their path to be able to say anything.
My story is not your story, and it's not her story, and it's not their story. The only person who can tell their own story is that person. And just shut the fuck up and let them tell their fucking story, you goddamn cunt-ripping twat waffle. God.
And if you don't, move on. Like, if you feel that their timeline for talking about it, discussing it, if you feel that their timeline doesn't meet your standards, move on. You don't, like, your opinion doesn't count there.
Be like, oh, look, that offends me. Scroll. Like, that's all you need to do.
Or if it's a conversation here, walk out.
You can just hit that little white X in the top corner and our video will stop playing for you, you fucking cunt. Get the fuck out.
Fucking what?
I was trying to say cunt and twit at the same time and it came out Kent. And so, get on with your 20 selves, you fucking quint.
Vendetta says, I have been assaulted more than once, and I agree. It is hard to talk about publicly.
Yes.
And thank you, Vendetta, for being able to say something as a man. It's brave for you to be able to do that. Unfortunately, guys can't say, I was assaulted by anything.
They can.
A man or a woman.
They can.
Yeah, they should be able to. It's just, you get more flack as a dude coming out saying a chick assaulted me than a chick gets for saying a dude assaulted me.
Or even another dude. Look at Terry Crews.
Yeah.
Terry Crews, who came out. He still hasn't said who it was, like I won't say, but Terry Crews is fucking awesome. I love him.
Me too.
Mm-hmm.
Well, not in that way, but...
Well, for him to be able to come out and say, some dude grabbed my crotch in front of my wife at a Hollywood party, that's huge.
Can I just tell you, if I was Corey Feldman, I would fucking tattoo fuck you and a middle finger on my forehead.
And I told you so.
And I told you so. And every person, like, I'd have I told you so here and I told you so here.
No, you'd have fuck off, I told you so. And just walk around like this. Bitches.
And that man has been talking about it for years.
Yeah.
For years. They're even showing a clip from when he was on The View that those ladies were like, I mean, Barbara Walters was, come on, Corey, what you're saying kind of, ruins Hollywood.
Yeah,
you're gonna
destroy the entire industry, is what she says. Barbara fucking Walters.
Fuck you, Baba Wawa.
Yeah.
It's because everybody thought Feldman was fucking crazy. You know why he was? He is. Do you know why?
Because he got molested as a fucking kid in Hollywood. That's why, you fucking douchebags.
And not just by one person.
Neck vein
by
came out.
multiple.
And then he got spent the rest of his life, everyone else telling him you can't tell anyone. Everyone. His agents, his managers, his parents. You can't tell anyone. It will ruin other people's lives. What about his life, you fucking goddamn it, I hate you bastards. Hate you.
Feldman.
I
And
love you,
hey,
Feldman.
hopefully-
You're a crazy fucker, and I love you to death, you little bitch.
Hopefully, this is going to be a hard show for some of you to watch because you don't want to hear about this crap, and I fully understand it.
Fuck you
We're
anyway.
usually here as eye candy for most of you.
And we're an entertainment show. We're
Right.
an entertainment show, but we're also humans, and we're also part of
and things piss us
society
off.
and things exactly.
And this
Piss
is,
us off. So,
honestly, this is our show. You don't have to watch.
that's right.
Just scroll on by, dude.
It's not like you're making us any money on YouTube anyway, fuckers. I think we have 36 cents in our YouTube.
Yes! We can almost get a taco.
If we share the taco.
What have we got in our Patreon account?
But we'll be back next week. I'm Elexia.
Toxi.
And Sierra,
We'll be back next week if
you're brave enough.
Later, bitches.